Okay. So I have that there's 6 of us online. So welcome everybody, especially if this is your first time to Zoom. And if this is your first time to Zoom, it kind of is like the Brady Bunch. Everybody has their own little squares, and it is live. So I always like to warn people because I've had people show up in their pajamas, which I'm fine with that if you're fine with that. I just want them to know. So we're going to talk about connecting, and we're going to segue that into connecting on social media. So first, I want you guys to think about some situations. Situation 1, when you were a child and ran onto a playground, what did you typically do?
I would say, hi, how are you?
And you would go make friends. Like, hey, you want to play?
Mm-hmm.
You know, depending on how little you are, you may have introduced yourself or not, but you don't think twice about it. You were there to find a friend and play and connect.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the first one. The second scenario, think about a first date.
Ooh.
Have you ever gone on a first date and verbal vomit and tell your date every single detail about your life?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I hope not, because then you probably scared him away.
No, I married him.
Okay, so that'll be.
I did scare him at first, though. Yeah, I did scare him.
Yeah. So most often, I have a feeling we kind of put out bits of pieces of information at a time. Maybe you're even a tease. Maybe you kind of get your feet wet a little. That's kind of the relationship that we like with our connecting, is you want to kind of, I call it dance. You know, you want to put a little bit out there, but yet you also want to, you know, give some information as well. Okay. So next, think about when you log on to Facebook. Who can't wait every morning to log onto Facebook to find something to buy? Does anybody log on to buy?
Mm-mm.
No. So typically when we log on, we're logging on to see what our friends are up to. You know, and I always call it, you know, you really want to create a following. You want to make it so you're intriguing them and they're wanting to see what you're up to. Hey, honey.
Hi.
So I'm going to ask you some questions about me, and feel free to either answer them out loud or type them in the chat box. But we'll kind of see how well you guys know me. So where was I on the 4th of July?
At a lake in Wisconsin.
Correct. Green Lake.
Green Lake.
Yep. What's my dog's name?
Zoe. I love her.
What's her favorite exercise in the world? Where does she like to go?
Swimming.
Yes. She swims with 4 legs. How many kids do I have?
2.
Is that actually Brandy or just the...
No, 2 daughters. And
Thank you.
Where's that going to college?
Baylor.
Yeah. So you guys know all this because you've watched my page. Now, on my page, you've probably then seen me post some recipes, working out, transformations, recognition. The point of this is that when people are logging onto Facebook, they don't want it to be all isogenics. You don't want to be shouting isogenics, isogenics, isogenics. In fact, we don't want you saying the word at all.
Mm-hmm.
That you want to weave your health journey in and around your life. So you'll see some stuff about the boys, especially when they're in sports. You guys can probably name the sports that they play. You know, you'll see sporting pictures. When we're boating, you'll see boating pictures. We have rank advancements. You'll see all of us celebrating together. You may see transformations. So you really want to weave all of this in and out throughout your page so that it really isn't selling at all. It's creating a curiosity and creating a following. Does that make sense to everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. So, what I always like to say is, so if I were to log on to your profile page, what would I find out about you? Would I be able to tell that you're on a health journey? Would I see only friends and family pictures and posts? Would I see transformations? Would I see recipe ideas? So keep in mind like, here's the best analogy. Think of somebody you went to high school with or was your neighbor next door and you lost touch and haven't seen them for years. What's the first thing you do when you have a new friend on Facebook? You go look at their profile page and see what they've been up to. So I kind of tend to spy on you guys every once in a while and see who is really staying consistent and weaving this health journey in and out of your life. All right. So I know we have a couple leaders on the screen here. Julie Sweeney, we have Tanya, we have Shelly, of course, my honey. Go ahead and tell us out loud or type in the group chat message, what percentage of your new customers come from social media? And I want to hear your answers before I give our answer. Anybody want to share?
I don't even know how to get in here.
Okay, but you can't answer yet because our answer will be the same. I want to hear, I'm going to start picking on y'all. Shelly, how much of yours comes from social media?
Can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
I would say, oh gosh, 75%.
Okay, Julie Sweeney, how much of your new customers come from social media?
Well, that is one thing I'm going to start doing much better at. I want to start tracking where the sources of my business is coming from.
Uh-huh.
But I would say that probably 85 to 90% are coming from Facebook.
Okay, and those of you who don't know Julie, she's joining us from Atlanta, if you can't tell by that sweet Southern accent. Tanya.
I do not have an accent.
Yes, you do.
I think you do.
Yes, you do.
Tanya, what percentage of your business comes from social media?
I guessed 90%.
Yeah, and ours is about 90% as well. So here's the coolest part. It's free. Why wouldn't you use social media to attract curiosity and help friends? I mean, truly that's what we're in the business to do, is to offer health solutions and help them feel their best.
Mm-hmm.
So the other thing to keep in mind is typically when we start this health journey, this is a natural progression. You don't have to be in people's faces screaming isogenics. That I would bet that without ever opening your mouth, people will notice you're perkier, happier. Maybe you don't have bags under your eyes. Maybe your skin looks fresher. Maybe you've had a weight loss transformation. Maybe you've put on lean muscle mass. They are going to notice something, and I kind of correlate it to, think about like if a guy grows a beard and they shave their beard off and you're looking at them like, something's different about you, but I can't really put my finger on it. I think that's what people do with us when we start a transformation. They know something's different, and sometimes they're either afraid to ask or they're really trying to figure out what it is that's different.
Mm-hmm.
So with little intention, people are going to ask. But when you put the intention behind it, everything quantifies.
Mm-hmm.
And so we might as well take advantage of the curiosity creating. All right, so now we're going to talk about some things to say. Now here's my tip number one. When somebody compliments you and somebody says, oh my gosh, Christy, you look fantastic, what is typically your answer?
I usually say, well, thank you. I don't usually, to me, I'm still getting used to that. I'm still trying to get used to the whole when somebody approaches me and tells me I look good, or they're asking me what I'm doing without feeling like I'm bragging about it. So that part I'm still working on. But I do say thank you because I know it's a compliment, but it's also something I'm not used to because I haven't heard it in a while. So.
And I think the population as a whole has a hard time hearing compliments. I mean, how easy is it for us to knock ourselves down and, you know, find that zit or that gray hair or whatever it is? Like, it's really easy for us to beat ourselves up.
Right.
But how hard is it to take a compliment? So here's what I want to think about. Somebody has some feedback on it. I'm thinking it's Shelly. Are you on a field? Okay. So think about this. Not only are we on this health journey and we're looking better, I think the more important part is that we're feeling better. Because how many times do people look great but feel like crap?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So my favorite response for if anybody compliments you at all is to say, thanks so much. And you know, the best part is that I feel amazing, or I feel fantastic, or I feel a decade younger. Like, somehow incorporate that this isn't about looks. You feel like a new person. And
Right.
so I think that kind of makes it easier to accept the compliment, but also switches the perspective that it's not all about looks. You feel
Mhm.
amazing. So that's my tip number one. The second thing I would encourage you to do, if you guys have not been to isagenixbusiness.com, or you can even Google Isagenix 30-second story, I would encourage you to print off this one document. It's a one-page document that says your 30-second story, and it's 5 questions. And by answering these questions, if you read the whole thing through, where you read the question and your answer, read the next question and your answer all the way down the page, it has created your 30-second story for you. So it is the easiest tool to go back and write your 30-second story. Because when you do start having people asking you, you kind of get that deer in the headlights look of, oh my gosh, what do I say next? So this is a great, after you've complimented and tell them how great you feel, this is a really quick follow-up to that. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to focus on social media and creating that curiosity and connecting. So I'm going to go over some do's and don'ts. Now, I have a couple pages of do's and don'ts. I will probably go ahead and put my notes onto this, onto the page under the webinar link, so that you guys don't have to sit there and scribble and scribble and scribble. You can just print it off and you'll have a copy. So some do's and don'ts. And again, leaders, be thinking about ones that I'm missing, or those of you who are new, think of something, a question. If you have a question, write it down and we'll cover it at the end. So you want to weave Isagenix into your week in different ways. Like we talked about, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit more later, is weave it in your life. You don't want to only have ISA posts. You want to keep people asking, what are they doing next? I can't wait to see what's going on with them. That's really the platform you want to come from. But here's the other thing, is be authentic. Be you. Don't try and be somebody else. You know, Tanya and I have a lot of similarities, but we also have a lot of differences. And so even if you borrow a post, you may want to tweak some of the verbiage. Or if you're not a person who uses emojis and you're borrowing a post, take the emojis out. Like, people are going to see right through that it's not you. So make sure you're being authentic and true to you. You get the best results when you speak from the heart. Some of you, and I'm going to pick on my husband, Randy is a much better, more gifted writer than I am. And he can come up with a post like that where it'll take me a half an hour and I'll write it 47 times before I have the end thing of if I'm trying to speak from the heart. But I think it goes with that authenticity, that when you speak from the heart and you're real and raw. I actually did my post yesterday talking about how I got way too comfortable and kind of not hugely fell off the wagon, but I wasn't staying as consistent as I could and just started to backslide and feeling as great as I know I could. And I think it's important for people to see that. You don't want them seeing that you're all perfect and that there's no error in this and there's no room for margin. That be real and authentic in you. And I think that will speak volumes. But in that, lose the negativity. It should never become a bitch session. It should never become a gossip session. And we all have bad days. So when you're having a bad day, don't post. It's that simple. You know, don't rage on Facebook. My rule, stay away from politics. I don't even want to get on that bandwagon. So lose the negativity and don't post anything obnoxious or inappropriate. I kind of think that's a given, but apparently these days it's not. Here's a
Along those lines, controversial.
Yeah, good
Stay
point.
away from it.
Right. I think this is one of the biggest. Be a product of the product. And so I'm going to use an extreme example. Don't be touting about your health program and then pull out a cigarette. Like, really? You know, and granted, I'm sure there are some people on Isagenix who smoke, but that whole be a product of the product. Go ahead, Tanya. Yeah, are you going to pretend you're smoking it nice?
Pretending I'm smoking.
Yes.
Awful.
But that goes, and not to say like we all are the whole, like we use the product 80% of the time and 20% are our indulgence days. Not to say that we don't indulge, not to say that we don't enjoy a cocktail. Those are great to post too. but you don't want to be posting 90% cocktailing and 10% isogenics. So that's what I mean when I say be a product of the product. Okay, here's one that
And obviously,
go ahead.
I was going to say, people are going to notice if you're driving through McDonald's on a regular basis.
Yeah, and that's kind of a hard one if you have kids and the kids really
It
want
is.
it and maybe you're not doing it, but you have to find the balance for you. Okay, so here's an interesting thing. We've earned a lot of the, what are they called, Randy? Analytics or the rhythms
Yeah, analytics.
Yeah, it is analytics.
of
The
algorithms.
algorithms?
Yes.
So we've
I know what
learned
you're
a lot-
talking about.
We've learned a lot about the algorithms of isogenics. So here's one is that, did you guys know if you ever share a post, that Facebook takes sharing posts and bounces it to the bottom of a feed? So say I post a transformation and you're thinking, that's great, I love that, and you share it. It actually will go to the bottom of the feed instead of being at the top of your feed. Also, if you use the words, contact me for more information, buzzwords like that, or if you want more, give me a call. Okay, first of all, they're your friends, it's a given. If they want to know more, they know how to get a hold of you. But phrases like that will bounce your post to the bottom of a page in a heartbeat.
Also, can I throw in, Jody, since you're talking about sharing posts, that you don't want to necessarily share a post because then it's not from you.
That's
People are
exactly
going to look
what
at that and they're going to look at Jody and go, oh, I need to talk to her.
Right. Or it just isn't original and you want to be
Right.
original. Now, granted, some of us have mutual friends and some of us may borrow the same post, but it looks better if you're posting it versus if you're sharing it. So those are some things that bounce to the bottom of people's feeds. Now, when you're talking about getting transformations, there's multiple ways to get transformations. The first way is ask our team members. I think most of our team members are open and willing to share some of their transformations. But beyond people you know, there's actually some private Facebook groups that are to create curiosity and get transformations from. Now, you still want to ask permission before actually borrowing it, but I've never had anybody tell me no. So here are some Facebook groups that you can actually become members in that group and just talk to your coach if you want to be added to the groups. But HHP, ISA testimonials, posting to create curiosity. So if you're not in one of those groups and you want to be added, chat with your coach. They can, always put you in those groups. Again, remember, ask permission first. Here's another biggie. Don't use the word isogenics, because what we have learned, and trust me, we're trying to help you get a faster learning curve because we've done all things the wrong way for a long time. So we're trying to help you beat that curve. That when you use the word isogenics, most people will Google isogenics. They will look at the the retail price, not the wholesale price, not give you the chance to explain the benefits, how it's helped you in the synergy of the products, and look at the price and go, oh, it's too expensive, I can't afford it. Well, of course they can't afford it. They don't know how it's going to benefit them, and they're looking at retail pricing. So use different words. Instead of saying isogenics, say you're on a health and wellness journey, or you're on a health journey. You could also call it a nutritional rebalancing system. So again, something other than isogenics, come up with another name. Okay, your profile picture should be of you, not of your dog, not of your kids. It should be of you. And have it be a good picture. Make sure the quality is good. For those of you who don't know, Tanya, who's on the webinar, is a professional photographer. So if you're looking for headshots, you're looking for somebody to take pictures, chat with Tanya, see if she's willing to do headshots. And, that may be something we may want to do at the next team meeting, or one of the next team meetings is offer, if you have a backdrop or something, offer headshots, come 15 minutes early kind of thing. So if that's something you need help with, we can always help you with that as well. Okay, so how many times have you guys who've started posting feel like it's crickets out there? Like you're posting, but you feel like nobody's watching. Okay. So there's a couple great tricks to find out who's really following your posts. There's 2 big things you could change on your profile page to see who's watching your posts. Who knows what they are?
Don't.
Your profile picture and your banner. When you change those, you'll think nobody's watching my posts. Well, I'll tell you, people are watching. And what's really funny, and I'm going to pick on you a little bit, Christy Pelkey, because I know there's 2 Christys on here, that I have some past fellow team members from my previous business that literally there's about 6 of you guys in the last quarter who've all come on board. Now, I'd be willing to bet money that all 6 of you have been watching the transformations over the past 3 years since I flipped businesses. Mm-hmm. That, you never know when somebody has either hit their rock bottom, sadly enough, watching to wait to see if you're going to rebound or fail or stick with this program. And really, this is what I think it comes down to, is it really at the end of the day, when all of us have mutual friends and they're picking a coach, who do they like, who do they want to work with, and who do they trust? Because you can get Isagenix from anybody. But really at the end of the day, who do they like, who do they trust, who do they want to work with is what it comes down to. So people are watching even when they never comment. That I've had just in this last year, probably our last 10 enrollments, had no idea that people were watching and messaged me out of the blue, I'm ready. Okay, great. So have hope, they are watching even when there are crickets out there. But when you change your profile page or your banner, it does give you a broader view you'll be surprised, you'll get 100 or 200 likes when you change your banner. Like, oh, they've been watching? So another thing that's really cool that connects you more to people. So when it's somebody's birthday, how many birthday messages do you guys all get? Oh, let me rephrase this. How many people on your profile wall wish you happy birthday?
Up until this year, usually a lot.
I have over 300 on my birthday message me.
Okay, so over 300.
Mm-hmm.
And you're talking about writing on your wall, happy birthday, Tanya.
Right.
Okay, so how many private messages did you get?
I think 1 or 2.
Right. So birthday messages, happy anniversary, thinking of you, checking in to see how you're doing. I haven't talked to you in so long. Anytime you message somebody, it makes Facebook think that you're BFF. And so it increases the odds of you seeing each other's profile pages again. And when you want to feel special, in 300 messages, I bet you couldn't name all 300 people to me right now, Tanya.
No, not at all.
But who sent you a message? Who sent you a private message?
I don't know either.
So you're kind of surprising me on that.
Sorry, I can't remember. It's been a whole month.
But it helps you stand out.
Mm-hmm.
It seems more sincere, and it helps you link your page to their page. Because if you think about somebody who you used to see their feed all the time on Facebook, and you think, gosh, I haven't seen them post anything in a long time. It's not that you guys aren't friends anymore on Facebook. It's that you're not commenting on their post or they're not commenting on your post. So the more interaction you have with your friends, whether it's a private message or commenting on a post, that's what creates Facebook thinking that you're BFFs. So here's the thing. Be sincere. Don't be freaky or stalky or act weird on Facebook. Don't say, oh, I love your dog post, Tanya, if you hate dogs. I mean, seriously, we are out there to connect, have fun, and offer solutions. So don't be weird about it. So here's the other thing. Don't prejudge. There's a lot that goes on behind closed doors. We don't know when somebody, and she's not on right now, but I'm going to share her testimony. This girl, Elizabeth Ann, who lives out in West Virginia, she was dealing with major depression, almost to the point of suicidal. And I've heard this with other testimonies of people on stage at conferences, that you don't know what a lifeline this can be for somebody to bring them out of that deep, dark place. Now, we can't make promises of how Isagenix is going to help them, but we all personally know that people react in many ways. It helps with sleep, it helps with moods, it helps with energy, it helps with results at the gym. So a lot of times people may put a great face on Facebook, but you really don't know what's happening behind doors, both physically and financially, because we have that financial lifeline as well. So here's the thing, don't prejudge. Throw it out, see if it sticks. All right, I am almost to the end of my tips of Facebook. I know this is a long laundry list. Okay, so now we've been talking about the analytics of Facebook. Another thing that helps bump your post and keep it at the top of your profile page is every time somebody comments on it, it bounces your profile, or not your profile, but your post back to the top of your feed. So I'd like to think of us as one big giant team. I want us to all help each other. So when we see an ISA post, even though it's not called an ISA post, it could be a recipe, a workout, a transformation, a recognition. When you see an ISA post, comment. Help a fellow team member out. Likes will not do that. Likes are good, but a comment will always bounce it to the top of a page. And so here's an example. Last night on my transformation, it was the one about me from 3 years ago to now. There were some people still commenting on it today. So every once in a while, I just log on to Facebook and my profile from last night is the first thing that pops up. That's because people are still commenting on it, even though it happened last night. Mm-hmm. So again, help team members out. Let's work as one team. And if you see a business related post, put some kind of comment on it. Could be a recipe. Yum. Can't wait to try this. Oh, my kids will love this. Anything just to help that feed stay active for that fellow ISA journeyer. Okay, so with postings, I think it's easiest to do theme days. So here's some ideas for theme days. You can do again, I have this list that I'll post for you guys. You can do Motivation Monday, Tasty Tuesday, Tuesday Transformation, Wellness Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Throwback Thursday, Friday Faces, Friday Fitness, Friday Financial Freedom. Those are really easy posts that you could schedule one theme once a day or 3 or 4 times a week. Now, the most common time that people log into Facebook universally across the world, first thing in the morning between 6 and 9 a.m., on their lunch break between 11 and 1, and after dinner between 6 and 9. Who can tell me what the most frequented view of the week is? I know some of you know it.
Sunday night.
Yeah, what time Sunday night?
Is it 7 or 8?
Between 6 and 8.
Okay.
So Sunday night, we consider that a power post night. If you're really looking to have a punch or have a really impactful post, Sunday night's the night to do it. Now, those of us that have reached executive status, we do a power post every Sunday night with Cindy's team called the Masterminds. And all of the Masterminds are commenting on our post Sunday night. You can feel free to join in on that. If I see a business related post, whether it's Sunday or any night of the week, I will always try and comment on it to keep your feed going. So power posts are really fun. Now, the other thing I want to chat about with Facebook are hashtags. So here's where my page is going to show. I called it the pound sign forever. Then it was a number sign. Now it's hashtag. And to young people, hashtag is like Googling. That did you know if you click on a hashtag, it will send you back to all of the same posts that have used that same hashtag. So as a team, we could link together sharing some of the same hashtags. So I'm going to say some of the common hashtags we've used over the last few years. Now, all of these will have the hashtag sign before the word. You cannot put spaces in between. So it's all blended together, hashtag and then the phrase. Nutritional cleansing, start your life, success journey, superfood nutrition, unite and inspire, ISA body challenge, healthy for life, ISA journey. So if we all use some of those same hashtags, when they click on them, they're like, oh. And actually one I didn't bring up is HHP, which is the product page that Lori Olson has. Anytime somebody clicks on that, it takes them to all of the trail of previous posts that use that same hashtag. So that's a really cool thing. And I think more the younger generation, maybe I use hashtag to posts. I don't actually click on them to see what they said from before. But apparently the younger generation does. Okay, so When somebody comments on a post, say you've done a transformation and they're like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? Christy just had this happen recently to her. Here are my tips of what to do. Don't answer on the post. You want to get them offline as soon as possible. Best way is to send a private message, letting them know, thank you for reaching out to me. I'd love to connect with you, and I really want to see how I can help you feel your best. I've heard presenters say, be in a hurry. I don't have time to talk now. Would love to chat with you when you're available. The point is you want to make a time and set that appointment. The next thing you want to do is use a tool. So some of my favorite tools to use, those of you who have not seen it, you can go to YouTube and put in Mary Evans Just Cleanse. It's a 7-minute video done by a fitness professional talking about the importance of nutrition and cleansing and the lack of nutrition in our food supply and the amount of toxins in our bodies. Then if you have never been to iSamovie.com, iSamovie is on all of our web pages. And within iSamovie, I don't remember how many, there's about 12 or 15 mini movies. They're about 3 to 6 minutes long, most of them. 21? Okay, so there's 21 movies on iSamovie. Now the cool thing is there's different topics. There's some on energy. There's some on IsaBody. There's some on wealth creation. There's some on transformations. One of the new ones that I really like is the Today's the Day. They announced it at NYKO. It has Elvie Shepard, our IsaBody winner, in it. It's like 3 minutes long. It has really impactful music tied to it. So use one of our tools and you can send that to them. Now, a lot of the experts say send them that tool, either Just Cleanse or Today's the Day, literally 15 minutes before you're going to talk to them. So you can start that conversation of, hey, did you get a chance to watch that video I sent you? That way, it's a very engaging, fresh, new conversation. If you can't do it before, you can always use that. I sometimes will use that as my excuse to follow up. Like, thanks for chatting on the phone. I can't wait to see how this system is going to benefit you. Here's a great 7-minute video that recaps what we talked about, and shoot on the Mary Evans video. So you can use it on either end. Kind of play with it, see what works for you. Some other tools, 3-way calls. So those of you that are new, your coach is more than willing to help you on a 3-way call. And 3-way calls, it's you, your prospect, and your coach. And it gives the coach a chance to show you how to present. They will typically tie you into the conversation so they can say, hey, Julie, share with me how, this system has impacted you. What are your top 3, scale and non-scale victories? Like, you can tie that person into the conversation, but it allows them to hear it a couple times so they gain the confidence and the knowledge before they go off and do it on their own. The other thing is the Wednesday webinars. Corporate does these every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central. It is the same Zoom link every week, which is isageniczoom.com. So who saw my challenge about this Wednesday's Zoom, and who wants to tell everybody what the challenge is? Anybody?
I saw it. Christy, did you see it?
I did see it, but I remember I try to do these things during the day when I have kids, and it's hard.
Let's see. I believe it was you invite people to the call on Wednesday night.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Whoever attends, we send you how many attended, right?
Yeah, so you just put their names, like private message me their names or put their names on the link below as to how many people attended. For every person you get to attend this Wednesday's webinar, your name will go in a drawing, and I'm going to put together a basket with all kinds of Isagenix products in it.
There you go.
And I think it's perfect timing to do this incentive because we have free enrollment this week with 150 PV. So the more people you can get to attend this Wednesday's webinar, then you could get a prize from me, and you get free enrollment and could get some PIBs because they're ready to start their journey. So that is another tool. The other tool are sip and samples. So our son Zach is doing his very first sip and sample on Sunday and Monday back to back. So if you have somebody who wants to attend a sip and sample, they are both at 8 p.m. at our house this Sunday and Monday. And he did open it up to the whole team. So if you have somebody who wants to come, you're more than welcome to invite them for this next Sunday, Monday to that as well. Now, the other thing, my other tip to when you get them on the phone call is really listen. I've heard presenters use the phrase, be interested, not be interesting. Meaning you want to hear what are they looking for? What's their goal? What will maintenance look like for them? And make it an interactive, not verbal vomit. And I am one of these people who have a hard time with this because I get so excited and can't wait to tell them everything that our system does. But make it a two-way conversation and really listen to what their needs are and address their needs. Hey, we're on our last page. We're almost there. Okay, this next part is entitled Working in the Pockets of Your Life. So some of you have a full-time job outside of Isagenix. Some of you have a part-time job outside Isagenix. So the first thing I would encourage you to do is consider what your consistency is going to be. Is your consistency for posting going to be every day? Is it going to be 3 to 4 times a week? The other thing I want you to figure out with consistency is power hours. So power hours can be a 60-minute segment that you work straight, or it can be 3 20-minute segments, 2 30-minute segments. And how many power hours are you going to do a week? Are you going to do 3 to 4 power hours a week? Are you going to do 1 power hour a day? Are you working Isagenix full-time that you're going to do 2 power hours a day? That whatever your consistency you create, I encourage you to stick with it. Literally create business hours. And for some of you who do have a job outside Isagenix, here's what I've heard works. Put in a little bit of time before work or at your lunch hour, or if kids are napping, if kids have gone to bed. Maybe weekends are better for you than weekdays. But whatever that consistency is going to be, keep to that consistency, do your power hours. And the other tool I didn't talk about that I think is so key for all of us, whether we're doing Isagenix full-time or we're working in the pockets of our life and doing a job outside of Isagenix with Isagenix, there is a website called Hootsuite, Hootsuite. Those of you who have never logged on to Hootsuite, it is a website that helps you time out your posts. So that when I talked earlier about writing from the heart, I'll write a post. So for example, I'm super excited about my Sunday Power post for this coming Sunday. It's already written. It's already Hootsuited out. It's about Randy and I. He found a picture of us 5 years ago on the docks in Annapolis. Okay, so 5 years ago was 6 months before we started Isagenix. We were both.
It wasn't pretty.
We're looking pretty plump, like just very full faced. And he had it on the desktop, and I walked in and went, ah! I'm like, what is that from? And so I purposely had somebody take a picture of the two of us up in Green Lake last weekend on the 4th of July so that I can do, on the pier 5 years ago and on the pier last weekend. And, I play around with the writing. I have Randy proof it. So I wrote that post a couple days ago and have it Hootsuited to go out this coming Sunday night. So some people, and when I see either a recipe or a fitness idea or a really great transformation that I want to borrow, again, message, hey, can I borrow this? It's fantastic. Yes. I am the type that I have to Hootsuite it right then and there or I'll forget. Mm-hmm. I know certain people like Kristen Koski, she'll pick an hour or 2 on the weekend and Hootsuite for 1 to 2 weeks out straight. Whatever the rhythm is for you, Hootsuite can be your best friend. And I'm always trying to be at least a week out. It's also really great tools if you go on vacation, if you're going to a conference. Like, you look like you're working, but this is really what residual income is all about. A lot of people, we hit one of our rank advancements and we were on vacation. How great is it to hit a rank advancement and you're out playing? So let Hootsuite work for you, and that can be just a huge, huge tool for all of us. And then most importantly, and I said this earlier, consistency will be the key. Again, friends are waiting for you to fail. So prove them wrong, show them the consistency. And now I'm going to open it up to either leaders to talk about things that I forgot or anybody who has any questions.
I have something to add about Hootsuite. Okay. I have the app on my phone. And so throughout my day, let's say I'm waiting for an appointment or whatever. If I'm looking at Facebook and I see somebody's post that I love, I will immediately right there copy the picture, copy the text, go to my Hootsuite app, tweak it, and set it for a week from now. So it's not posting that same day, but I try to get mine scheduled out as far as I can, just like you.
Yep.
And I just absolutely love it. It saves so much time.
Right. And I know so many of you guys are more tech savvy than I am. I do most of my work with the computer, but I know like Jill Kerwin does 95% of hers off her phone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just more comfortable with the computer, but I love that all of these apps that we have and stuff, iSamovies you can watch on your phone, Hootsuite you can do from your phone. Typo. Oh, so here's another quick thing too. If you're ever going to post a link for something, like say you found a recipe that you really like and you found it from a certain website, healthyrecipes.com. If you do healthyrecipes.com and the hyperlink shows up and the picture that comes up with that recipe when you click on the hyperlink is there, that is taking your post offline in Facebook's eyes. So what you want to do is hide that link in your post, copy that picture, save it on your desktop or your phone, and X out when they pop up the picture, and then separately add a picture. So you want to write your recipe, put the link for the recipe, and then the picture of the recipe. That way it's yours, it's original, and you don't go to the bottom of a feed. Does that make sense to you guys? Mm-hmm. Same thing as far as sharing recipes as well. But what I was going to get to with that is if you like to create your own pictures, so this is a little addicting and the one thing I do on my phone. I use Typorama. Do you use something other than Typorama, Tanya?
Well, I use Photoshop, but when I'm on my, out and about and I have an idea, I'll make it on Typorama, yes.
Okay, so like, for example, that challenge that I put out today, where it's a picture of Randy and I together, where it says Team Challenge, that was done on Typorama. So they have suggested pictures, or you could pull pictures from your phone and you type whatever you want it to say, and then they have like 20 different ways that you can get it to look on your picture looking all cute, and you can change the color of the type, you could change the font, and I just found that last year, and like I said, it's a little addicting to get it the way you want it, but it's super fun. So the more you can put you in a picture so that they're looking at your post, or something that, nature walk that you're on, like you want to create originality. So the more you can be in that, and I'll say that I think Laurel and Andrea, they're both on Tanya's team, do a really great job of that right now. They've been doing yoga pictures or pictures of them working out, and they'll come up with a quote, whether it's finish strong or, hydrating with my Amped Hydrate today, or something that they're trying to do. They do a picture of themselves working out, and then they put it on Typorama and come up with whatever quote they're trying to do. So again, it's cute, it's original, and it's you. Okay, other questions that anybody has?
One of the things that was pointed out to me was that trending on the right-hand side of Facebook as you're looking at Facebook, that if you can tie in a post with whatever is trending at the time, it'll put you up at the top of the feed for Facebook.
Right. So for an example of that would be 4th of July. When it was on the 4th of July, 4th of July was trending. Or I'm trying to think of something else. I know a good one for tomorrow. Most likely tomorrow, what's going to be trending is free Slurpees, because what's the date tomorrow?
7-Eleven.
7-Eleven. So usually 7-Eleven gives free Slurpees. So you could come up with something to say about Slurpees, and because you're going to be talking about Slurpees, or even put, hey, go get your free Slurpee today. That's going to put you at the top of people's feed because it's trending. And you just reminded me something else I did not talk about. And this is relatively new within the last year. The number one way to get people looking at your feed, besides changing, and even more importantly than changing your profile or your banner, is Facebook Live. That it changes the logarithms or the analog to your feed. It gets people looking at your feed. You see how many views are looking at your feed. And Facebook Live, you can do it in a group. Like I could Facebook Live an ISA Journey. You can do it on your profile page. You can do it in an event. So if I'm having a sip and sample, I can do a Facebook Live just within the sip and sample. That Facebook Live has become huge at getting people attracted and creating that culture and that atmosphere that you're wanting to create. That I forgot all about that. That wasn't in my notes.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else I forgot?
This was very good and very comprehensive. I think it was awesome, Jody.
Well, thanks. I think what I'm going to do, because I'm sure there's people who wanted to log in and something come up and they couldn't, is I'll have Randy create this in a link that we'll post on the team page for those who couldn't log on. And that way they can tune in and watch it as well. I will, in fact, I'm going to send a screenshot. I'm going to take a screenshot. And for everybody that logged on, I will send you my notes so you guys don't have to type and, take notes as to everything I talked about. And if you come up with more questions, let us know. But really, we're here to help your journey be faster and with less hiccups than we've had, and to really just come alongside you, because we really do believe we're all one team. All right?
Awesome. Yes. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Well, don't forget, invite people to the webinar. Let me know who's attended the webinar. Sip and sample next Sunday, Monday, and also next Wednesday, the 19th, is our team meeting here at 7. We're going to cover weight plateaus, restarts, and we're going to talk a little bit about college kids, because now that I have one going off, I've seen the price ranges of what people are paying for meal plans, and it's crazy that we could be helping them save money with that too. So it's all team meetings, so be sure and get the word out to all of your people, and I hope that we pack the house.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks, Jody.
Thanks. Have a good day.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.